Hello everybody, Russian Batman back with another video. I was gonna say sorry if I sound tired, but I don't really feel tired. It's kind of late at night. I'm filming this like the day before this releases, so I feel like I should be more tired, but I just started speaking and I kind of have some energy, so could die off, I don't know. But yeah, today we have a Smiling Friends showcase. I've I watched a little bit of the first season and watch. I actually don't think I've watched all of season one. I did watch all of season two. I binged it with my brother and I absolutely loved it and it was great. Not to say season one was bad or nothing. I think they're both pretty much equal. But I don't know why. I just didn't like watch all of it when season one was coming out, but I did watch all of season two. And I loved it, so I'm like, you know what? Let me just make some customs because it was a good show. And why not? Now, where is my first? Okay, hold up. Wait, I gotta organize. So I got these are the figures I'm showing off. Okay, cool. First of all, let me just show off Charlie here. Charlie, out of all of them, is probably the one I might be the least happiest with, especially with how the head turned out. I do like the sculpting I did, however, I don't know. His proportions, I feel like he should be a little bit chunkier, maybe an extended torso. I'm not 100% sure how I would have done it differently. But I did decide to do his kind of weird 2D thing where he has his kind of his both eyes are facing forwards, but his nose is facing to the side. I thought that would look good, and I know other people have done 3D versions of Charlie, and they'll usually put his nose in the front and with the two eyes on the side, kind of how he looks like on his front view. But I really wanted to do the side view, and I think it looked pretty good. I also did sculpt on his hoodie, so it's kind of like a hoodie head combo piece with the hat. So yeah, like I said, I'm not 100% sure if I'm in love with this guy as much as I'd like how some of the other customs turned out. But I mean, yeah, maybe I'll modify him in the future, but that is Charlie. And then you can't have Charlie with the lovable Pim. Pim is great. He's such a goober. Like look at this little guy. He's so cool. For his pants, I went with purple. Now, in the show, it's kind of hard to tell if it's purple or a kind of like an off blue. It's kind of like Steve's pants from Minecraft. Lego usually does kind of a purpler color, where in the game you could argue it's blue. I went with purple because I think it looks I think it looks purple enough to be purple. I do like how his eyes turned out. I gave him those kind of scribbled on. I want to call them like Rick and Morty type eyes with the pupils. And with the head, I went with the Mysterio Bull. This was suggested to me by Magic Cooper Productions, or he also goes by Skull Smoothies. He's a good friend, and he was like, "Hey, you should use this." Originally, I was actually thinking about using this Animal Crossing head, because in the show his head's a little bit more of an oval than it is a complete sphere. But I thought this head was a little bit oversized, so I went with this one. And I do wish I made a little bit more ovaler. It kind of does look like just a sphere, which it really kind of is more of an oval in the show. But I still went with it. I did sculpt on his eyes, and I did, like I said, I drew on the mouth. I do kind of wish this line went out a little bit further before it went back into that weird kind of side smile he has going on. But I like how the kind of the detail of his shirt turned out. Is very simplistic, but it fits the show. So yeah, the only other thing is that I had a hard time finding pink hands. I don't know where I can. I don't know if pink hands are like really uncommon. I actually had to take it off my Patrick custom, so my Patrick no longer has pink hands, which is pretty sad. So I could only have one custom at a time with pink hands. Next up we have oh my god, I'm forgetting his name. The red guy. The it's not Glep is the little green. I don't know. This guy, he's pretty cool. Again, another sculpted head. So I can pose him, so I can make him look like he's... Ooh, hold up. I can actually make it look like he's looking the other way. So I could do this as well, depending on which way you want him facing. Doesn't look good that good. Well, it's kind of cursed front face. But in the show, he's only facing one side or the other, so it kind of goes into that weird 2D design where you know, he's really only looking, you only really see one eye at a time. However, I did paint on both eyes, so you can, like I said, make it look like he's looking either way. He has that blue tie, and everything else is red. Pretty simple, but again, you need to complete the smiling friends. So, yeah. Next up here is, I believe this is Glep. I always forget his name, but this is Glep right here. So as I just demonstrated, you could also do the double-sided thing where he's facing this way or he's facing this way. I think it works pretty well. His the body that this is made from, this is actually made from a like a toy rabbit piece. It was from a dream set. It's also very similar to the stuffed bear, the teddy bear piece. They're very similar, but I just cut the ears off, and I just because I was debating on using a baby piece. However, I think the arms of the stuffed animal works better for Glep's arms, and I kind of even made him a little bit smaller to make him even more stubbier. Obviously, then I sculpted on the hat and I sculpted on the mouth. I think it looked pretty good. Like I said, from the front, all of them kind of look cursed from the front, but they're meant to be viewed from the side. But like I said, you could flip him around to make it look like he's looking the other way. So yeah, I'm really happy with this clip. And you can see there the smiling friends, what they look like size comparison wise. Last but certainly not least, you can't have the smiling friends without the lovable boss himself. This guy, he's kind of cursed. I mean, his whole design, I think, is really cursed looking. He has his like ginormous forehead. He has like way too many wrinkles, and it was a little bit tricky to translate onto Lego. The head, the base of the head is actually using the head from the Porky Pig. So I did a Porky Pig. I took off the nose. I kind of flattened the features of the face so I can kind of paint on my own face. And then I added all this hair on the back and a little bit on the top. You can see that big bald area. And then I gave him his, you know, I debated giving him like more Lego-like eyes, which is black with the dots, but I gave him eyes more accurate to the show. His teeth are showing, but his bulbous nose is covering him. I debated on sculpting the nose, but decided not to. His pretty generic suit that he's wearing. And yeah, originally I was painting this, and the eyes were like way far up, so I had to paint over the whole face again and put the eyes down so we could have just an ungodly amount of forehead. Now, in retrospect, this head actually does seem a little bit small for him even now. Looking at the reference material, his head is almost the same size as his body, which this really isn't. So if I wanted to be really accurate, I probably should have made the head even more ginormous. But I didn't want to go too crazy, so here is what we got. So yeah, there you go. There are the smiling friends and the boss. And yeah, and just to let y'all know, a little update is that I usually say like, hey, suggest, you know, characters if you want to see a part 2. There actually is going to be a part 2. I actually already have the figures done. And you might be saying, well, if you have the figures done, why aren't you showing them now? Well, I wanted to separate it into a part 2 because next week I'm going to be doing some traveling, so I can't really make a video in time. So I made some extra characters from Smiling Friends that I'm just going to include into a part 2. So I apologize for that. And I apologize I didn't get a video out last week. I've just been kind of busy. But yeah, and then y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Stay tuned for next Monday where we will have part 2 of the Smiling Friends Showcase. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day and have a night. Go watch that 2011 film Rango and Smiling Friends, all that good stuff. We have a Discord. Join it, link in description, probably, unless I forgot. And yeah, bye-bye.